Welcome back to the Buzz Line. We are in episode 4. That's right, the ratings just keep going up. They can't stay away. Miss Hedger, guess what?
What?
Not only did I grow hair, but how are you, Miss Hedger? Before I tell you my thing, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing
awesome. I feel
awesome.
like I'm talking to a whole new person with that long hair.
You know, like we talked about, it's like when I put this on, things just happen. I just become this new person. Like, I feel like it's my inner child. It's who I really want to be. It's me, you know?
Right. Did you ever have hair like that in a past life?
No, it only got down to, like, I did a bowl cut. It got down to my cheeks.
Oh, okay.
I'll show you pictures. Maybe I'll put one up. It was also, I dyed my hair red when I went to prom, and I wore a white suit. So that was it. Yeah, that's a true story.
Okay, gotta put that picture up.
My poor date. So yeah, I just, there's a couple reasons I have this on right now. So my first dilemma, Miss Hedger, that I want to talk about, and let's just preview the episode. We got a good conversation coming up.
We do.
We have a surprise music video.
Very special.
And then our interview is really great with Chris Keller. From Circle of Renewal Yoga. She had some phenomenal advice and discussion, so I'm excited about that. Pardon my hair. But this Friday, Miss Hedger,
big day Friday.
It's my birthday.
I know, exciting.
And do you know how many people are coming over to celebrate?
I would say 0.
0.
Social
distancing. It's gonna be a huge party. So let's be very factual about this. I don't really like parties. I'm not a big.
Do you not?
I don't. No.
I'm a big birthday person. Like, my birthday is very important to me.
Nobody is shocked by that. In fact, I remember when it was your birthday, and it was like a whole week thing. It wasn't.
Oh, yeah, for sure. It's a birthday month.
You're that person.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like, and I'll tell you the truth. My birthday is the day before my wedding anniversary. It's so, like, it doesn't really count anymore.
Oh, yeah.
House, which is fine. Like, I don't.
What would you have done though if there wasn't all of this going on? Would you have gone to Barrio or something?
Yeah. No, I would probably, like, I don't know. Yeah, probably Barrio, or like, no. My favorite restaurant is Hook and Hoof in Willoughby.
Oh yeah, that's good.
We go there like once, twice a year. Shout out to Hook and Hoof. But I don't know. We'd probably do that. But I mean, if my wife's like, what do you want to do? She's going to make a cake or something. I just like hanging out.
That'll be good.
I like hanging out with my kid, man.
Will you FaceTime or try to, like, see anyone? Like, your mom will probably call you, right?
People will probably try to do that with me. I probably won't try.
You won't answer. I'm busy. That's the thing, though, about all this going on. You have no excuse for why you get off the phone or why you can't answer. You're not doing anything.
You know where I am.
Yeah, exactly.
What would you do for your birthday if you were quarantined? Like, what should I do?
I mean,
we're off work that day too.
I know. Will it be nice Friday? Like, probably would try to go outside.
I think it's gonna rain, or it said like wintry mix or something on Friday. We were just looking. No.
I would probably make my family play like a board game with me or something. Guilt them into something.
Cool.
I don't know. I would be sad. I thought about that. I'd be sad if my birthday was now.
Yeah. I'm not gonna do that at all. I think we'll probably just, with my daughter she's almost 2, she's gonna have more fun than I will. So we'll probably sing happy birthday, and I'll probably just, watch some Sesame Street. Keep it real.
There you go. That'll be exciting.
Maybe have an extra cup of coffee. Live on the edge a little.
Right.
Another update, I don't know if I told you, but I've been working out every day in April, and I have so far been successful.
Do you work out with the wig on, or?
Once. I have found when I wear the wig for weightlifting, I feel stronger.
Really?
I don't know if that's a mental overlap or what that is, but I feel like the energy from the wig just propels my max. Whatever,
can you bench
reps.
more when you?
Yes.
Like more? Okay, wow.
Squat more, yeah.
Wow.
Yep. I don't know.
That wig is magical.
It's beautiful. I've had it for like 5 years. It smells terrible.
You need another one.
Another wig?
Yeah.
You've
worn that a couple times.
My daughter hates it. She won't let me wear it. She goes, no, go. I'm like,
Oh my gosh.
So the other thing I want to tell you about, this is kind of cool, and I want to share with the podcast world. It's almost like a world premiere. I made a music video.
Did you?
I did. It is called Jace's Birthday Song, and the story goes that my best friend Melissa, her son turned 5 on Monday. Today is Tuesday. Mm-hmm. He's like my little dude. He calls me Uncle Beans. We're pretty close. He's the sweetest kid ever. So long story short, basically what happened is, obviously we're kind of quarantined right now. You know, we're kept at home, so I couldn't go to his party. Additionally, his grandpa, my best friend's dad, just passed away like 3 weeks ago. So like he's having like and that was like his best buddy. So it was like this rough patch for him, and he's stuck at home, and I felt terrible. So anyways, his mom put out a plea, on Facebook, like, hey, if anybody could send videos or stuff. And it was Sunday, and I'm like, it was cold out. It was like 10 a.m. I'm like, I got a wig. I'll write a song. I wrote a song real quick. Probably took me like an hour. Recorded it, and then had my wife take some really weird videos while my daughter was sleeping, and I made a music video.
You're telling me that your wife was in on the video taking? I may or may not have seen it already. I'm sure she did not want to.
She wanted nothing to do with it. Nothing. She wanted nothing to do with that, and she said, you're weird. And I'm like, yep. But I'm very proud of the music video, and
it's pretty good. It's a catchy song.
It is catchy. I agree. Thank you. I implemented Happy Birthday into the lyrics. I did implement a fart sound effect into the lyrics as well.
That was a special moment. Yeah.
I cried. And I thought, I don't know, Ms. Hedger, I thought maybe before we talk about, classroom virtual online etiquette, I would share some of the video with the podcast.
Yeah, definitely.
Is that okay?
I think so.
All right. Well, coming up next, world premiere, MTV, Rolling Stone.
This one goes out to my buddy Jace. Happy birthday. Jace, I heard you're turning 5 today, and I'm sorry that we'll miss your party. I hope you eat lots of birthday cake, and it makes you go party. I hope you get some new toys to play with, and maybe some Legos too. Pretty soon Uncle Beans will come over, and he'd like to play with you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. J, A, C, E, come party with me. J, A, come party with me. You turned 5 and that's pretty rad. You remind me of Spider-Man. Use your webs just to save the world and fight the bad guys just like your dad. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. J, A, C, E, come party with me. J, A, C, E, come party with me. J,
All right, well, that was a very exciting video. Thank you for sharing that, Mr. Beans. Up next, we wanted to touch a little bit on Zoom etiquette, and since that's sort of the platform that we'll be using moving forward, just certain things to sort of respect as you start Zooming more in some of your classes or Zooming one-on-one with your teachers for help.
I think you have to say it like that when you say it. Zoom.
You definitely do.
Mm-hmm.
The first thing that we wanted to touch on was in your Zoom, make sure that you're being on time to your Zoom session. So if the teacher says that they're starting at 11:10, make sure that you're showing up on time at 11:10, maybe even being a minute or two early. A lot of the Zoom sessions now, they require a passcode, right?
I was checking my face. I just look fat today.
Don't. Oh my goodness.
I'm sorry. Anyway.
Don't do that on the Zoom.
Yeah, don't do that. What were you saying?
Don't they require a password?
So I think what we're noticing is a lot of the Zooms, a lot of the classrooms will have a waiting room now, meaning you have to, our teachers will have to allow you into the classroom. That's for security purposes. And a lot of the classrooms will be using a password. So for example, I had a class yesterday and the password was Mr. Beans, just one word. So, and that again, it's a two-step thing. Yeah. Just to make sure that we're able to, keep Zoom bombers out of our classrooms and keep everything safe.
So being on time will sort of help with that. That way, if you need to go back to the email to find the password, sort of helps you make sure that you have enough time. The second one that we wanted to talk about was making sure that you're appearing appropriate when you get on the Zoom. So, that would be some inappropriate behavior onto the Zoom. Make sure that you are presentable, that you're not just laying down. Act like you're in class. So that would mean giving a little bit of effort.
Yeah, no,
and
we get it. We're, let's be very clear. Like, I'm in a hoodie, I'm in shorts, but at the same time, like, I'm in a chair. I am sitting up. I don't have my phone, directly in my face. I'm trying to look, into the camera or at least towards the class. I'm not over here doing. I did have a student doing this yesterday. I won't shout her out, but I love her. She was just doing this. Like, I could see the video game controller.
Oh my goodness. And
I'm like, hey, I get it, but give me 10 minutes here and like let me get back. So just making sure that, you're respecting the fact that we are also hosting a class and that you're present with us. So, we don't feel like we're just talking to our wall, which I sometimes do. My wall is right here. That's it. I mean, my big thing is, make sure you're dressed appropriately. Make sure you're not laying in bed, going like this with your, whatever your device. Just, give us your attention. It makes
normally they're 15 or 20 minutes anyways, if not shorter. So it's just giving us a little bit of your time in the day.
And also, interact with us. Like, even if it's not about school, even if it's about something you're doing at home or a question you have, that makes everybody feel more connected. And that sense of community for the school, it really helps because we do miss, you guys, we do miss talking with you, we miss joking with you. And this is weird for us. I still feel pressured, like when we're in those classrooms, like, okay, I got to talk about all this and I got to get this done. And I forget sometimes to like joke or say, or put on a wig or whatever. So, remind us.
Exactly. And I think the last thing too that kind of goes along with that is with the joking and with everything, obviously we do miss you guys, but just having respectful comments back that you're talking about something that the class is talking about. If we're talking about for an ELA and we're talking about your argumentative essay, making sure that your comments are aligning with that. Don't unmute yourself to make a comment that will get everyone off task. We're trying to get the information out. Be quick about it, but also give it to you in a way that's understandable since we're obviously not together. So just making sure that you're respectful. Obviously, there's a time for joking and we want that, but just sort of aligning those comments to the topic that we are talking about.
I would say my biggest advice is if you have an inkling, meaning you think that anything you're doing might be disruptive and or inappropriate, don't do it. It's just respectful. Now, if you want to Zoom with your friends outside of class, you have permission from your families, go for it. Do what you got to do.
Stay connected, yeah. If
you want to play Fortnite over Zoom and talk about it, great. Sounds good. Weird, but sounds good.
Yeah.
Overall, I would say that, my biggest challenge in my Zoom classes have been people just making sure they're coming on time and just being engaged for the brief, 20 to 30 minutes that we have. That's it though. Everything else has been working out pretty well. I've been impressed, but I think these reminders would be helpful for people since this is a new ball game for us.
Definitely.
And it's something we're doing for the next at least 3 weeks, if not longer.
Right. And the last thing too is if you can't make a Zoom, if you had something going on or your family has something that you're doing, we're flexible. Just send a quick email if you're supposed to meet and just say, hey, I have this. Could you maybe meet later? Are you going to be posting it? Just sort of take that initiative to talk to the teacher, just like you would if you were at school, if you're going to miss a day or two. making sure that you're doing that just to stay on track with the class, since this is totally different.
Speaking of totally different,
Oh
we
boy.
we interviewed Chris Keller. She is.
Yeah.
We did not interview a staff member this week. We interviewed someone from the community. Her name is Chris Keller. She is the owner of Circle of Renewal Yoga, and she's a parent as well of one of our 6th graders. And man, she was awesome.
It was awesome.
I will admit, I didn't really know what to expect. We kind of just thought the idea of interviewing her, and we thought maybe she gives us tips on ways to relax. She talks about some of the online sessions she's having, but then she's also talking about being a mom at home, with distance learning. So super cool. And that's coming up next. Sound good?
All right, perfect. Sounds good.
Great. All right, guys, welcome back to episode 4. We have a special guest from the Kirtland community today. This is the wonderful Chris Keller, and she's the owner, I believe, of Circle of Renewal Yoga Studio. Is that correct?
Yep.
All right. So Miss Hedger and I, we wanted to have you on because part of this podcast is staying connected to the community. But you are kind of a bonus because not only are you a parent, but you are, what we feel is an important part of the community, especially right now. So we thought we'd talk to you a little bit about how, distance learning is kind of, what you're seeing from your family perspective and I guess also a business perspective.
Sure. Yeah. From my family's perspective, just to be really honest, they really miss their teachers and their friends. So that's been hard for them.
Yeah.
But the actual coursework, they picked up on it really quick, and the teachers, I think, are really trying to make it fun, and the kids feel really supported because I've got a 6th grader, a 5th grader, and a kindergartner, so I've got this whole different taste and flavor for all the different curriculums we've got going on.
Yeah.
And every, from kindergarten up, all the teachers are there. If you need help, ask. I've had several questions in Zoom calls, and so it's been really, really great. I think didn't skip a beat.
Awesome.
We dove right in, and it's been going well. So
we spoke about this last week, but the reality is we're as teachers we're still learning a lot of what we're using in the models, and a lot of it was just kind of very small time to plan. But I keep hearing good things like that in terms of teachers being able to conference. So that's cool. That's good to hear. And a side note for the podcast, I do have your daughter in my 6th grade math class, and she's amazing. She's hilarious. She's free spirited. She is such a good kid. Just super funny and a hard worker.
She says all those things about you.
Oh yeah. Well, I give her bonus points to speak well about me. So
there you go.
So how is what are you seeing now? Because I'm gonna get this all. I didn't do all my research, but you just opened that studio recently.
Yeah, we just opened our yoga and wellness studio across the street from the school. It's just a tiny little studio, and we do everything from yoga classes for adults and kids to meditation to I call them connection circles. So what I do is facilitate. A group of people will come together. Now we do it on Zoom because we can't gather in a group. So just practicing social distancing. We come together on Zoom, and we've got a topic, and we talk about it. And it's a safe space where there's no judgment or advice, and you just practice your listening skills. And so when somebody shares something, generally you walk away learning something new, not only about them, but kind of about yourself, because you're like, oh, I've been through that, or that was an interesting way they dealt with it. So all these different things we offer there. And we just moved everything online. So when we had to close our doors, we moved our yoga classes online, our meditation classes online, and our connection circles online. So it's been great.
I did. I looked at your website and I saw that, that you had transitioned to a portion of your website for the online portion. So I think that's really cool. I think we talked about that in past episodes too, about how we're seeing online dance classes, online, even teletherapy.
Right.
So that's
well, and I offer a lot of free classes, especially for kids, just to try to help break up the day.
Okay.
So if they want to sign up, I've got a Tuesday yoga stretch break at 1:00, and a Wednesday meditation, like a mindfulness break. They're only 20 or 30 minutes long. It's not long. And then on Thursdays we do just a kids yoga class. So there's lots of options that if they just want to come and see and break things up, it's free. You just have to go to
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's really good. I will put the information for that right on here while you're talking about it. Once I get back into editing all this, and
Thank you. That's great.
we'll see it.
Yeah.
Uh, how do you? I guess and Kelly, you can interrupt me. So just to kind of tie in both things, you're seeing. I'll just talk about Jillian because I work with Jillian. But so, what do you think is helping at home to maybe the structure at home or the expectations or what kind of advice do you have for parents who maybe kids aren't picking it up as quickly? What do you think might be helpful?
For the
Yeah,
schooling at home.
yeah.
You know what? My kindergartner, he does not have a great attention span, or it's just it comes and it goes, and he's got good days and he's got bad days for how much he wants to do school. And honestly, the biggest and best thing we've done is just we take a lot of breaks. We'll do the yoga stretches, or we'll go outside and throw the ball, or we'll run, or take 5 minutes to ride the bike up and down the driveway.
Yep.
And just breaking it up really seems to help him a lot. My girls, on the other hand, they really just want to get all the work done so they can go outside and play. So both are incentivized in different ways, but both seem to be working. So
that's how I am. I power through it.
That's what I would do.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I had a conversation with Kelly and I. We share a student that we both work with, and I had the same conversation saying you're going to get frustrated. It is okay to step away. And especially now we have, I mean, even though our hours are 8 to 3, you have all day. What I mean? It's
just to get more fresh air. It's a bit, Jillian was saying that to me because she doesn't go outside when she was in school a lot. So she's loving this actually.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Go out and stand in the sunshine and, go take the dog for a walk and then come back and, hit the books again.
I think the student last week, Ms. Hedger, that was talking with us, mentioned how when we are in school we get those walking breaks from classroom to classroom. So now I find myself every 40 minutes I just go upstairs and play with my daughter for 10 minutes and then go back downstairs because I work in my dark basement to stay away from everybody, so but I think that's very similar to what we're talking about, is taking those healthy breaks.
Right. But even like today, getting outside when it's nice, sitting outside, different scenery. I'm getting tired of this same old background, so
I think what I'm noticing too, I think all of us, we did say, we were talking before we started recording, these are some crazy times, and it is such a life change to feel locked up. And, even me, I'm a homebody. I love being home, but even me, I'm like, oh my God, I have to cook dinner again. Okay.
Right.
So do you want chicken or do you want chicken? That's all we have left.
We're having chicken.
Pretty much. So you've been doing yoga for over 20 years. How did you? What draws you to it? What's your big?
You know what? I fell in love with it. If you've ever just found something where it just kind of lights you up, that's what yoga does for me. It makes me feel just better, more calm and stretched out and strong. And I think, especially in the environment we're in now, I'm really relying on it a lot. I think the more physical activity you can get in to burn stress off, and it just helps. And that's what yoga does for me. I think that's why I love it so much. And I teach it, but the subject matter of yoga is so big. It's just not the postures. There's a lot more to it in terms of the philosophy or the science behind it. And so I get to be a student too. That's why I love it. So I'm still a student, but yes, I teach it, but I find out and learn new things all the time. And for me, it feeds that part of me that loves to learn. So that's why I think I love it as much as I do.
Kelly, you've done yoga.
Awesome. Oh yeah, I love yoga. I can definitely tell a difference. Once I go and I get to the class, I'm like, I know it's going to help me. I don't know why I fight it so much, but I love it. And I feel great after. And a lot of times it's when I first started going, I'm like, there's no way, I'm not going to go through all these. But after I'm like, wow, I feel amazing. It's like a completely different feeling.
And people think, oh, I have to be all flexible and, touch my toes. No way. No way. There's actually there's not that much stretching. It's a lot of strength training and breathing. And there is stretching. It's very balanced, but it's not, you don't have to be a crazy flexible pretzel to do it.
Exactly.
When there was a period where my wife was doing a lot of yoga and I would join her, and she would be doing a very good job and I would be trying, and she would all I remember her yelling is, "You have to breathe. Like,
it's true. You can't hold your breath.
I tense up. Well, I tense up. She's like, breathe. I'm like, I can't because I'm trying to hold the pose. But no, I've had probably 3 experiences like in a class, and they're amazing. I always recommend it, especially for like core muscles and back things, lower back issues. That's always been my thing. I've admittedly I've never committed to like a regular regime or schedule of it, even though I always say like, God, I should do that because you do feel better. You feel better all day long.
Right. It's true. You do feel better all day long. It helps.
So breaking news, Miss Hedger and I are lazy and we cannot commit to anything. Okay. Awesome.
That's great.
We don't judge. It's okay. It's really okay.
This is the listening circle. No judgment.
Yeah, exactly.
No judgment. There is none.
Oh,
you do you, Mr. Beans.
Thank you. I guess real quick, I'll give you one more question, and Miss Kelly Miss Hedger thinks of anything, but we talked about, I really think it's great that you're offering some online things, both free and not free, whatnot, but what, for students maybe who do catch this, or parents that are watching and want to share with their kids, what is something they can do from, I'm just throwing one at you. What's something they can do while they're like sitting or doing work? A couple things they could do to maybe calm themselves down or
Sure. I'm actually teaching this quite a bit in my classes. Just with the current environment, there's a lot of stress. There's a lot of feelings of being overwhelmed, and worries are kind of overwhelming people. So what I've been teaching, it's a 4-part process, and it's just 4 easy steps that kind of helps take you out of feeling anxiety or worried thoughts or feeling fear. It's helpful to understand how our brains work when we're dealing with fear. So when we face a fear, or perceive a fear, whether it's real or just a perception, our body, there's a part of our brain called the limbic brain, and it basically turns on and it kind of hijacks our system. So this old part of our brain, also known as like a lizard brain, it's kept us alive. So when we were cavemen and women, and that limbic brain would turn on because a bear was chasing us, it would make us either freeze, either fight, or run away, right? So it's a lovely mechanism. It works really well. However, now that we don't have bears chasing us all that often, it's still, right, Jack? It still turns on when we perceive anything that makes us worried or overwhelmed. So what we can do is we want to tap into actually the part of our brain that is our prefrontal cortex. It's that part of our brain, it's the front part of our brain that allows us to make good choices, that helps our executive reasoning and helps us think about, how to care for others and make a good choice and not necessarily react. Okay. So our lizard brain makes us react, and our prefrontal cortex, this newer part of our brain, helps us stay calm and reason through things and make sure everybody's calm, cool, and collected and taken care of. Okay. So what we can do to not get stuck in our lizard brain is called the RAIN process. And how I like to remember it is bring the rain to wash your fears away. So it's 4 letters, RAIN. The first being R. What you do is you recognize your fear, or you name your fear. So when you can name it, you're using that part of your brain that makes good choices, that realizes, I'm actually perceiving a fear. So if you can label it, or even just say, I'm afraid, without any kind of judgment or negativity towards yourself when you say it, because honestly, we have an absolute right to our feelings. We have a right to feel how we feel, and we shouldn't judge ourselves for feeling that way. So if you can just say, I'm afraid, either out loud or just in your head, I'm afraid. So you recognize it, you name it. Mm-hmm. Then the A in RAIN is you allow it. So you let that feeling be there. So instead of running away from the feeling or trying to change it or fix it or do something else, you actually just allow it. You allow that feeling to be there, and then you investigate it. So that's the third letter, RAI, investigate. And by investigating it, you actually feel it in your body. So you just get curious about it, and you just put gentle attention on that feeling. And then the last step is N, nurture. So what you do is you feel your feet, or you put your hand on the table. You do something to anchor you into your body, into your senses, your 5 senses. And then you nurture this feeling. And basically, you can put your hand on your heart or your arm, or give yourself a little hug, and you give yourself a soothing message, and you say, brain, thank you, brain, for trying to protect me, but I'm okay. I'm okay now. And you can say that out loud, or you can say that to yourself, but you're offering yourself some compassion and kindness and nurturing. And you're thanking your brain just trying to keep you safe, right? Yeah. But if you can feel your body and thank your brain, it helps you stay out of that, the worries where they become like they're feeling too much, or that's all you can think about, or fear or anxiety, or just feeling overwhelmed in general. So the more you can do that the RAIN process, recognize, allow, investigate, and then nurture yourself, and not get mad at yourself for feeling the way you feel, the more it creates a pause or more room to make better choices, healthier choices for you and the ones you love. So, because if you can stay calm, I say this a lot, being calm can be contagious. So if you can be calm and more peaceful, it's contagious. It's a gift to someone else, because then it's easier for them to remain calm and peaceful too. So that process, I think, I found it really, really works.
Is that why Jillian is always calm?
Yes.
Like,
not
all
always.
the time.
No.
I mean, pretty much. She's either calm or she's really hyper. Like,
yeah.
silly.
Are we talking about the same kid?
So a lot of what you're talking about to me, and Ms. Hedger and I work with students, but in kind of discovering self-awareness and building that palette of like healthy coping skills and coping mechanisms, both in the classroom, out of the classroom. Right. You broke it down. I think that was
awesome,
was amazing. Yeah.
I think the part about like touching something or putting it into is the part that's a lot of times
present moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, it helps a lot.
And it's, to be clear, we're doing this podcast for, students and families, but I mean, these are things that I do. These are things that adults need to do too. So I think we got to recognize that too. I still do those things
all the time.
Yeah. Yeah. That's great. Hey, Ms. Keller, you've been awesome.
Yeah, this is awesome.
I had such a good time. Thank you.
You're a valuable resource. We might have to bring you back, and maybe when we get back into school, we should talk about maybe figuring a way to have you come in. And I know you're talking elementary, but I think some things you could do for the middle school kids would be really helpful.
I would love that. Absolutely. Yes.
Excellent. And you can bring a smoothie.
Lots of fun things.
Bring a smoothie from next door too.
Deal.
Okay. All right. Well, this has been Chris Keller from Circle of Renewal Yoga. I know you have a website. You're on Facebook. Anywhere else?
Instagram @Circle of Renewal.
Everywhere.
Awesome.
Yep.